Hey, this is Corey. I'm going to talk to you about how in the world I managed to continue my art career while severe with ME/CFS. And when I first got severe, I had a number of important shows lined up. So, yeah. The first thing, the most important thing, always, 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 is pacing. So, with pacing, I made this huge crocheted quilt that is king size. It's made of a lot of little squares. And if I made one of these, or this is the piece minus the square around it, but you get the idea. It's a smaller section. So if I did two of these plus the square around it in a row without stopping, my arms would be in such bad shape that I wouldn't be able to use them for 3 days. And I tried that and I found out the hard way. That is what not pacing looks like. But I discovered that I could make 6 or 8 of these a day if I paced. And pacing looked like maybe every 20 stitches, pause for a few minutes. And then another 20 stitches and pause for a few minutes. And then do that a few times and then take a longer rest of like 15 or 20 minutes, or put it down for an hour or two. But that way I could get through as many as 8 of these a day. So that is the magic of pacing. And I wouldn't have my arms blown out for 3 days afterwards. I could get up and do it again the next day and do another 8. So that's how I managed to physically do some level of art. Now with painting, this I can do in bed. This is great. I could also draw in bed. I don't do watercolors, but if I did watercolors, I could do watercolors in bed. It'd be a little trickier if you're doing certain techniques, but I could certainly draw. I could draw on a tablet. Again, with the pacing. I paint, and painting you need to sit up, or like I can't do it without sitting up. And you need good ventilation, you need a good space. Thankfully, I have a studio space in my garage that works for all these things. I have a way to get down there with a lift that is not a problem. But I have to lie down constantly. So it looks like half an hour of painting and then lie down for half an hour. Because now I can sit up for up to 2 hours, but you don't do that. You don't sit up for 2 hours in a row, because that'll be it. That'll be like crocheting 2 of these at once. You sit up for half an hour and then you lay down, and then you lay down for half an hour to an hour, go back, repeat, do it a few times, then have a longer break. That's how you do it. Now this is really, really frustrating as an artist, because the rush you get and the in-depth intensity of everything is the creative process that sweeps you away and makes you forget about time and makes you forget about your body and everything. And that's such, it's even more tempting when our bodies are in such rough shape. But you can't do that. You can't do it anymore. I'm so sorry. You have to set a timer, because if you get carried away, you will crash. So setting a timer is important to keep track of where you're at, and put it on snooze, because you'll go, oh, just one more thing, I'll just fix this brush stroke or whatever. You can't. You have to put it down and lie down. Another thing I use is machines. I can design something on the computer, and then the machine makes it while I lie in bed. And that's been great. I mean, you can't lie in bed when the laser etcher is going. You have to watch it. But for the 3D printer, you can monitor it by camera. And my embroidery machine will actually send me a text if it gets stuck. So I can run those from bed and that's fantastic. And incorporating more machines into my work has made it possible. I also did my most recent installation in Maine, all on my computer, and then the museum, it was a design for an installation, and then the museum did all the installation and all the physical work. So that was another way to do it too. So my other solve has been having friends and family and hired assistants do a lot of the work that I don't physically need to do. So my installations involve maybe rolling like 250 balls of yarn, or um, dyeing and ironing 1,000 sheets of paper. And for things like that, I can supervise, I can assign. It doesn't have to be me. And that makes my artwork possible. When I first got severe, I wasn't at the stage where I would think of hiring people yet, and my friends just really stepped in and helped me finish the projects that were coming up, and that made everything possible. Another thing is setting up your workspace so that you can easily stop and rest, and so everything is as low impact as possible. If you can do it lying down, do it lying down. Prop up your back, raise your feet, keep yourself in the best position. If you are sitting up, make sure there's somewhere to lie down right next to you. Make sure that you minimize whatever sounds you can, or you wear ear protection. If you do have a sound going, like ventilation for painting. You just got to make your environment smart so that you can easily rest and use minimal effort. So that is how I managed to still do my art while being severe. It's not been easy. I can't do it like I used to, but I am still showing internationally, and it's possible.